The goal with Overdose was always to make the best thing that has ever come out of Ohio University. Even from the moment where we got the idea, we knew we had something special. And so when I sat down with Casey and our professor Eric Williams, who helped us write the script, I always knew that we needed to shoot as high as we could. We needed to make it feasible that we could shoot it, but at the same time, we needed to push the boundaries of everything that not only we've done before, but everyone that was working on set has done before.
Something inside of me was like, you got to do this audition.
This is definitely like bigger scale.
You can't beat superheroes and drugs combined. I mean, that's a wonderful thing.
Cut to him falling on the pavement. Great reveal as we dolly back to see Augie's hand vibrating, as we saw first in the teaser and have waited almost half of the episode to see until now. Music swells. We kind of see like the enemy, the protagonist. He stands up. He throws away the joint because he doesn't like smoking. Trying to reinforce that. Another shot in the hand to just kind of give it that ambiance. Cracks his neck. Pans in. Shall we? And that's kind of a running motif in this episode, is having people say, shall we? Independently of one another, which I think is just really funny, and that's also the name of the episode. So Casey and I used to DM each other a lot on Instagram and share superhero film information as it came out. And one night we just kind of started talking about a whole bunch of different superheroes that we really liked that were a little bit more obscure, and it got us both thinking, oh, we should film a superhero thing next. That should be our next short. And from there I was like, yeah, but it's got, like, obviously Casey, you're going to be the main character. That ended up obviously not being true. But then I was like, oh, you would suck as a superhero. Like, you'd be high all the time and blah, blah, blah. And I was just kind of ribbing him. He was like, oh, that's actually a really good idea. Like, what if my powers came from smoking? It's like, oh, that's hilarious. We should do that. And even in the first couple of drafts of it, it was just this guy who's a stoner and a bad superhero. And it wasn't until later that we figured out, oh, it's a lot more interesting if he doesn't want to smoke. And that's kind of how Overdose came to be.
So he gets to work doing his Tony thing, starts writing shit down. And the next day he comes to me and goes, all right, I think we have something pretty cool here. I think I have something that I could probably make into something like really nice. And I think we could get some really nice fight scenes out of this. And I was like, let's do it.
We should make it like a bat signal.
Oh, we are definitely making a bat signal.
Yeah. Or like a pot signal.
Dude. That's awesome.
For me, I've worked on a previous project that had some OU connections. Tony knew those guys, and he said, hey, I think you'll be a good fit for this role here.
I found the project on Backstage. It sounded cool, so I sent him an application, and then once he sent me the script, I was like, man, this is going to be something. So I was super excited to have the chance, and I was really looking forward to working with these guys.
I originally heard about this through Backstage. The day of the audition, I was in St. Louis, and I was really busy, and I didn't know if I was going to be able to make it. So I was like, I don't know if I should do this audition. But something inside of me was like, you got to do this audition.
Shall we? So we found a way to figure out like a realistic way to have a lot of fun with these characters, which is you take the power set from X-Men, where they get their powers through mutation. But our theory was if mutation actually existed, it's such a random process that it would be incredibly random, and we can have like the most insignificant, inconvenient powers to ever exist.
Yeah, like Mother Nature really sucks sometimes, and like what would the most perfectly evolved organism in the world need superpowers for, right? Like nothing.
I'm not doing coke, and enough with the car guy. If there are any other metas, which there aren't, they won't have dumbass powers like starting cars with their fucking mind.
Casey's first analogy that he gave to me was like, yeah, like some dude can just start cards with his mind. And at the time I was like, oh, let's write that down. That's a good one for the future. And then like I wasn't ever able to shake that one from my head, and I was like, that's so
It's
funny.
just such a funny power. Just nothing else but starting. Oh, it's a good one.
And then you also had the genius idea to do the Lil Sebastian complex with it.
Yeah. Yes, where everybody thinks that it's amazing except our main character, except Auggie. Everyone is super pumped that this power exists and think he's like S tier level.
Okay, it's awesome that there's another medic unit and all, but like, not much of a superpower, right?
And the weird thing is, we only had like 3 people submit to audition for Jumpstart out of the gate. Just based off of image and like demo reels alone, I was like, I like this Anthony Brazel guy.
He sent me Anthony, I think, first day.
And I was like, this guy looks just like what Overdose should be.
Yeah.
We had a bunch of auditions the first day, and I always like to jump the gun on things and like get ahead of myself and start working on things a little bit early. So I had a document that I made and I sent to you and like everyone involved in the project. I'm like, after day 1 of casting, this is our main 5 that I would go with right now. And it was Sean, LeJon, TJ, Anthony, and you. So after day 1, I had already picked the main cast without officially picking them.
No worries.
Wow. I mean, just wow. It's really cool that there's another metahuman and all, but like, I mean, starting cars, not much of a superpower, right?
They all stare at Auggie, astonished.
First of all, that's sick as hell.
Well, let's roll audio.
Audio rolling.
Action. Casey, go.
Come in.
What's up, dude? Top shelf?
Middle. Got the munchies?
Nah, no superhero tonight.
We were probably 2 hours late to start shooting on day 1. We filmed in Ohio, which you're going to get one of 2 things because the weather is so eclectic there. I was already on like high stress because a lot of the set deck and wardrobe was coming in the day or 2 days before we started shooting. So I was already scrambling to make sure everything was together, make sure shot lists were getting made, people knew where they were staying, etc., etc.
Oh, you know what I was thinking? You should try Coke.
What?
It was kind of nerve-wracking to be there. The first kind of scene that you're filming, the entire thing is supposed to be you're having a bunch of chemistry with this guy, and you even have to do some improv. So, yeah, it was a little nerve-wracking, but good question.
Okay, where are we starting from? We're gonna start from, we're way ahead of the game, man, like for real.
Cool.
So good.
It's not going well.
We start shooting on Thursday. Monday, we get hit with a gigantic ice storm. And like the university shuts down. And on Friday night, we're supposed to shoot outside in an alleyway that's really steep and already really slick. So the alleyway ends up getting completely iced over to the point where you can't even walk down it without like busting your tailbone. So I go all over the place, all over Athens, in the middle of bum nowhere, looking for snow shovels and rock salt, all of which are sold out. So I bought a little kid's like $20 plastic shovel, like snow shovel, and like an hour and a half to 2 hours a night, I just cranked out shoveling the alleyway to try to break up the ice.
All right, this is it. This is the alleyway set. It does look pretty snowy, but check this out. I'm barely even going. It's not even slippery because it's so mixed with rock salt. All right, look, I can go. And I don't even slip, see? We're totally safe. This is the lighting rig. Yep. All right, that concludes our tour. of sets for today. Thank you.
Thankfully, my producer Steph Schilla, the day of the alleyway shoot, she managed to locate rock salt, and I had already done a number on the alleyway, and the rock salt just made sure we were able to shoot there. But for reference, the alleyway next to it that we kept having to walk down to get to Schoonover, where we had a couple scenes, we couldn't walk down it, so it paid off. Day one, when we started shooting, we were still dealing with the ice storm. People were getting there late because it was so icy. Audio equipment didn't work. And then at one point, I was like, how long before you think that we get audio? And it was like 20 minutes. So I was like, all right, I'm going to run to my apartment, get something real quick, and head back. My car ends up skidding out and has no traction going down another alleyway. So it gets lodged in the middle of the alleyway. I had to call the AD and our script soup to help get me out of the jam. It's like, it was a mess. Until we started shooting, and then it went a lot smoother.
Yeah.
But I think we ended the day on time.
We did. It's picked up for sure.
Timon, may she rest in peace.
Aye.
It's fun because I'm not an actor, but I'm surrounded by all these people who kind of give me advice and whatnot. So it's an interesting experience being surrounded by these people I'm not normally around, and the crew's always awesome.
Day 2, the location for the Irish pub scene was changed to the Skull, which is literally right down 100 meters from my house, so I'm about to walk over there. It's very convenient for me. Day 2, let's go.
We're gonna have to all the way because it's kind of long.
And I read through the concept and thought, at first, it was a bit outlandish, definitely some dark comedy realm stuff, which was interesting, but it's I don't know about this, but I threw in an application anyway, and after reading over the entire script, I'm glad I did. It reads really well, and I thought it was this is something I'd watch.
It's a lot bigger than the other sets I've been on. The amount of people working on it, and just the equipment being used, the amount of people actually acting in each scene, it's just a little bit bigger of production than I'm used to, but it's a lot of fun.
And I saw his demo, and I was like, this guy, you don't know someone's age, just their work's this guy's good. And then I was like, he's a college student, and I'm like, wow, man, he has a good eye. So that's the kind of people I like to work with.
Hey, I met a guy in there.
It's been really fun getting to know the other Irishmen that I'm acting with. One of my favorite things is just when you're going to have a couple scenes with someone or you're going to be acting close with them, just jumping right in and acting like you've known them for years.
Hey, I met a guy in the bathroom. And
Obviously one of the biggest projects that Tony's done. It's the second largest project that I've worked on. My name is Matt Mosinko. I'm director of photography. I've also been doing a little bit of cam op and gaffing as needed. There's sometimes some complications. Overall, it's a good time. I love the dedication and hard work out of everyone. The crew's great. The actors are very talented. We've been pushing them, working out, shooting in the cold for long hours. I know it's a drag on everyone, but the motivation and the morale, we're keeping it up and keeping it moving, trying to keep everyone positive and focused.
I was born ready for this.
We have a very big set piece in the alleyway, which was big not only because it's the big midpoint of the episode where there's a big fight scene in an alleyway with 6 people involved. More than 6 people. 9.
Yeah,
11 and plus you, 12 people total in this scene is not only the midpoint, but also the very first thing that we see in the entire series.
It has to set the tone.
The shoot's broken up into 2 nights. We are blessed with the opportunity to make a video village out of the coffee shop adjacent to the alleyway. So everything's looking good. It was 18 degrees. Already we're fighting the weather with people's hands that were operating the camera getting frozen over. And
when it's 0 degrees in an alleyway, all I'm thinking about is how Tony said he wanted my character to have an unbuttoned shirt so you can see my chest hair, meaning I can't wear an undershirt. So it is I'm just out there bare.
The actors having to be filtered in and out of out of inside, back outside, and people trying to work with our AD inside, and then him not being able to help me outside because he's helping them inside, and like everything was kind of mayhem, and like the focus wheel wasn't working. So we had to figure that out. There were takes where we finally got a shot off and like focus wouldn't work, and it was like, holy cow. And then finally we started picking things up a little bit. We had a lot of shots to film.
Alright, we got this working, right? Alright, Ray. Also, let's connect to it. Also.
Just when we thought we were on a roll, a gigantic food truck pulled right in front of the alleyway and like kept its motor running. So not only could we no longer shoot that entire direction, which most of the rest of the shots that night were going that direction, but we couldn't film any sound.
Is that really what's going on?
We got what shots we could that weren't going to have like crazy audio. That's when my director of photography and my assistant director and I decided to call an extra early meeting between the three of us the next morning to figure out how we were going to come back for night 2.
I had left by the time the Chipotle truck got there, and that was already like 11:45.
Yeah, we were shooting 6 to 2.
Yeah, so it was
both nights.
Yeah, it was. Tensions were high. Tensions were definitely high.
God damn it. Cut.
Reconvened the three of us, my triangle, if you will, because I've got a camera department and my assistant director and everything that he operates underneath him. And we kind of restructured our crew. We gave different people different roles. I was like, just give me the camera. I'm gonna roll on it, call it the same shot, and then since I'm editing anyway, I'll know once we get on the edit, like this is like 8 shots in one. Because I was like, all right, basically like you sit here on this angle, thrust your head like this, and go. Good, got it, go. All right, from the top, same thing, ready, and go. And it was like that for a good 5 minutes, and we rifled through 12 shots, back to back to back to back. So that night we were on a roll. Like that night we were moving.
Like just like, it's like that, man.
That's what I wanted for last night. I've been on a lot of sets, and like right away, as soon as I met Tony and Casey, I knew that Tony was a guy that knew exactly what he wanted. He put a lot of time and energy into like every little bit from the audition. I mean, the script is brilliant. And every little thing that we did from the audition through the read-throughs and everything else through the automatics, I mean, I knew it was going to be a great experience, and so far it's been really nice.
That everybody knows their job, everybody does their job, everybody holds themselves accountable for their responsibilities and everything, and it makes it a great fluid transition as far as putting the work together and getting it done. So I've really been enjoying it, and it's the same thing on this one, man. Everybody knows what they're supposed to do, they're doing it, and making it happen.
You.
But Mary Jane Potts.
There's good.
Bro, is that to these? Are at
What if I say, I feel like you're just listening to actual characters and you go, what about Mary Jane Watson?
Can you see through the back window? I can help you do that. Come on! Man, cut. Awesome. That sounded pretty good, actually. That looked really nice.
Okay, go grab your coffee.
I'm gonna go grab a coffee.
Take 5.
There's a thing that's gonna happen in a second. I'm rolling. LeJon, just for the hell of it, why don't we do one where it's like way over the top? You know what I'm saying? And it's just something that's...
That was fucked up.
Did you guys know that was going to happen?
Yeah, I did.
I wasn't scared at all. I'm walking off the set.
That was cool.
It's a wrap for the weekend.
It's a wrap for the weekend. Sir, thank you so much again.
No problem. I hope it all worked out.
This car won't be here if you do a sequel, just so you know. But we'll have our Teslas by then.
Right, we'll have Teslas by
It would help the DI, I'm it's probably in case they need to like
What's up? We out here.
Yeah, Cincinnati went by a lot easier.
Way smoother.
A lot better weather.
Everyone was super hyped at that point. Yeah. Everyone was just like feeling their roles.
Everyone knew exactly what they were there to do, and everything.
The script was completely memorized by every single person.
Yeah.
Even production crew. So, I mean, everyone was...
Yeah, Cincinnati went by a lot easier than the rest.
Hey, my main man, the Blunt Panther.
Yeah, let's just get this establishing shot first and then move on. Actually, okay, let's just do that. You still want on the 16?
Ready, two.
All right, you have the right to remain. You get on the 16. Start your car, that's the thing, huh? This man going.
Escape rope! Where's my gun?
Do it.
That is a wrap!
Don't you do it!
Officers Trent and Markin!
Absolutely. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome.
It's so sticky.
You're especially welcome.
Yeah. Action.
So, peace out. Love you. Bye.
And cut! Woo! All right. And that is a wrap on episode 1 of Overdose. Yeah! And that is a wrap on Sean Akyildiz. Yes, sir. Hey, go back to Chicago, you piece of shit.
Yeah, I will. I plan on it.
Good work, everybody.
All right, see you tomorrow.
You know, Auggie goes on this, he has this arc even in the first episode. You know, it's not like a full movie-length character arc, or of course not a season-length character arc, just in one episode, but he starts off kind of denying things, shutting part of things off, and deciding, no, I can do this my way. And then by the end, he's kind of forced in that corner where he has to decide whether or not he should abandon his morals and save others, and or how to balance that thing. And he makes a very key decision that we think we want to carry on through the rest of the series with how does he deal with this, and how does his character travel from what we see in episode 1 until the end of season 3. The thing that I think is really cool about Overdose is how big of a project it was for how small of a school we were in, the amount of people involved in it creatively, and like just even down to the set deck, like what color do we want Stuart wearing, and what does that represent about his character, and how does that relate on the color wheel to the person that's that was conversations that I had with people.
The one thing that I think we're both most proud of, besides the actual, final product and what we got, is the fact that pretty much every actor came up to either Tony or me after production and said, this was either the best production that I've worked on, or like the most efficient, some variation of this was blank. Fun. Yeah, this was fun. This was the best thing I've ever worked on, and it's like that feels really good to have people saying that for your first endeavor,
Focus.